We're at Moulton Field, which is the home of the Tuskegee Airmen. Sky 11 is looking down on this historic site. One of two original hangars is still standing and is a museum. The airport was built between 40 and 42 to provide primary flight training for the Army Air Corps. Still operating today as a general aviation airport, Moulton has the history of Black Americans who wanted to serve in World War II as pilots. This section of the field is operated by the National Park Service. It is a rich repository of Black history. It's open year-round to the public. This hour, we'll share the story of the Tuskegee Airmen. And in about 15 minutes, we'll take you inside that hangar. So what's so special about this place? A ton of history here. Got to remember, early 40s, the winds of war were blowing. World War II breaks out. Everybody, men wanted to sign up, women wanted to sign up and be a part of the war and fight for the country. Tuskegee Airmen were black. The Army said, no, black guys, they can't fly. They don't have the aptitude. These guys persisted, and that's the amazing story here that we're going to share with you this hour, a part of Black History Month. Great place to visit down here. We'll tell you more about the location coming up. Connie, I'll see you in 15 minutes.
Looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Reed. Well, less than a week after a devastating fire here in Louisville, demolition has started on a Nulu apartment building. The fire marshal ordered the 310 at Nulu Apartments to be torn down. And WHAS11's Connor Steffen and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie talked to a person who lived in the building as he watched his home destroyed.
From the destructive fire that raged through this Nulu apartment Monday, captured through the eye of our Sky 11 drone, to the structure's final stance Friday, as debris and personal belongings fell from the air.
Despite the things you hear back there getting crashed, everybody's still strong.
Dozens watched on in awe from the ground. Many of them were watching their home be destroyed.
I see people today crying on the ground, grabbing stuff. It just brings tears.
The pictures say more than words ever could. In one moment, generosity from a construction worker, reuniting this couple with one of their most prized possessions.
It is what it is, and I mean, I hope insurances definitely start supporting everybody. Sometimes they look for the minimal way to not support anybody. They really do. It's very unfortunate.
U of L medical student Freddie Calderon was lucky enough to make it out with his own prized possession.
So ever since I moved to Louisville, I put this picture on my window, and every time I woke up, I used to see it. It reminded me of why I came to Louisville and to become a doctor and support all my family, community, friends, and the world one day.
With nothing but a picture in hand and his mother, who flew in from Florida, by his side, Calderon watched on with every smash and tear.
God is a God of miracles. I'm Christian of faith. Things are here today, things are not. This is living proof that we're all alive and nobody could have done that but the man above.
Many of them lucky to be alive, but leaving most, if not all, their belongings behind. In Louisville, Connor Steffen, WHAS 11, on your side.
Louisville Fire is still unsure how that fire started and say it will be difficult to determine a cause. Investigators will rely on drone footage primarily for that and information from when they first arrived on scene Monday. Well, a person is in custody after a shooting and an hours-long standoff in the Shawnee neighborhood. Officers initially responded to that shooting around 10:45 yesterday morning on Lindell Avenue, where they found a man who had been hurt and shot. He was taken to the hospital in serious condition. Police say a possible person of interest was seen going into a home nearby on West Broadway. The SWAT team responded and the standoff started. We are told that standoff ended just before 2 in the afternoon. Another shooting victim was found inside the home, and police believe he was shot before officers arrived. That man is expected to survive. Everyone involved has been accounted for. In Frankfort, a controversial bill passed the Kentucky House that would tighten food stamp eligibility. It would insert income and asset tests for Kentuckians applying for SNAP benefits. Now, work requirements would also be imposed for able-bodied adults with no dependents. Lawmakers who oppose the measure warn that tens of thousands of low-income Kentuckians will lose food assistance, and this would put them at a greater risk of struggling to have enough to eat. Republican Wade Williams said this would close loopholes that he says are deterrents to getting more people into jobs.
The pandemic is behind us, and it's time for a thoughtful solution on how we get more workers back into the workforce. It's not compassionate to simply keep somebody as a servant to the government.
I want to know how poor do you have to be in Kentucky to be worthy of food? That is the question of the day. We're talking about a basic need and a right. And I don't even know where we go from here.
The bill now heads to the Kentucky Senate. The former police chief in Bloomfield, Kentucky is facing criminal charges. The Nelson County Sheriff's Office says a grand jury indicted Harry Steve Cameron on charges of tampering with physical evidence, falsely reporting an incident, and official misconduct. According to court documents, he made false allegations against another Bloomfield employee and tried to withhold information during an investigation. Last May, the Bloomfield mayor fired Cameron and other city leaders. Cameron is expected in court March 7th.